Hello Mayhem Makers, I'm Mindy with Quilting Mayhem. Welcome to the final tutorial for the Summer Sampler 22. We're down to sashing. Simple, you have all your blocks done. Now we're just adding the pieces that kind of put it all together, and if you've seen the sample, it makes star points where each block joins. And it's easy. So you're going to be making some units that look like these and some units that look like these. They're going to come together, and you can pick whether you use just a plain block or you can fussy cut some of those other fabrics that you used in your quilt to give it a little more pop at each center of the star. So that's all totally up to you, or you don't have to do the sashing. If you want to do a completely different layout of those blocks, go for it. Please show me though. I love when people, what I call is going rogue, do something different than what I did. A lot of fabulous things come from you guys just doing what you want to do, doing your own thing. So please make sure you share what you do, share those finished projects because we love seeing them. But otherwise today, I'm just showing you, I call these snowball corners because essentially if you do it all the way around, it's what would be called a traditional snowball block. So I'm just going to show you this easy peasy. So you take like your smaller square, and it's going to be the same whether you're doing the rectangle or the square. You're just taking your smaller square, drawing a line on what would be the wrong side, the back side of the fabric, Kona, it doesn't matter. And you're going to place one on top of the other in a corner, and we're going to sew on the line. Now, if you're using a directional fabric, you may have to lay everything out to make sure that these are all on the right corners for how you lay that out. I don't recommend using directional fabric because that will take a whole next level of getting these going. So be warned. Otherwise, if you're using the fabric from like the kit, just go for it. You're just going to make a bunch of these. And so on the line. And I use just a basic chalk marker for this dark fabric. Okay, so then we trim it because we can't put the next block on, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to. It will, once we trim it, you can tell it's a Monday. Like if I try to put this one on here now, you're not going to be able to trim what's underneath here. So you have to trim and press first. And you're just making sure you have a 1/4 inch. Right, you're just taking it to a pressing station. I do a little bit of starch, that's up to you, and I do press my seams open. Now if you do press one way or the other, generally I say press to the dark side. So for this one you definitely would press your seams towards these outer corners, but I like them nice and open. I like it, it's flatter. Okay, so then once you have one, you're just making sure you put the other one on. All right, pretty simple. And then we're going to trim, press, and they're done. So you can get these sashing pieces done pretty quickly and be ready to lay everything out before sewing the entire quilt together. Okay, so we're just trimming. Pressing. I do at the end put more starch on, like final block. I'll give it just a little, make it nice and crisp. So as I'm putting everything together, they stay nice and straight, not as much stretch as long as you're working with bias. It does help keep that under control. So you're going to make these, and you're going to do this same step making these. You're just going to do both ends. So I didn't think it was worth making you watch me do those guys too. So ready, set, go make some sashing. All right, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the summer sampler. It was fun to design. I loved seeing you guys come in and pick up your patterns. So hopefully you'll share how they've turned out. I'd love to see what fabrics you're using, how they look, anything different that you did, all those kinds of things, or just that you got it done. So have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next summer for another sampler. Keep on stitching.